Hello and welcome.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there. Hello, Mr. Hunter. How are you today?
Mr. Wood, I am doing well. Firstly, let me say welcome to those who are joining us on Sunday evening at 8 p.m. and welcome to those who are watching on Catch Up who've decided to watch the Platinum Jubilee show instead.
Platinum Jubilee show? What's that?
Yeah, that's the one with the pipe band are currently playing on.
Is it on the telly or something?
It's on ITV, yeah. Right now.
All right, okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
yes,
lovely to see so many of you joining us. Please hit that share button, please. Hi, Stephen Hughes. How are you doing? Hello, Joanne. All these nice people joining us in. Joanne, we've got boys on for the Borders tonight. You're going to enjoy it. We've got fantastic... there's Liz Jack. She was messaging me earlier saying it was raining in Lochgoilhead today. It's been a beautiful day in Shetland. Beautiful.
It was no bad up in Kemney earlier on.
A beautiful day in Shetland means it wasn't raining, right enough. That's good. So,
or windy.
But that's it. Listen, we've got a couple of fantastic guests tonight, haven't we? We've got this is the first time for the show that we've done this. We've got two brothers on. We've got Chris and Andrew Waite coming on tonight. Chris the Piper, he's on the second half. Andrew on the first half, accordion player. So it's going to be great speaking to them. So please keep sharing about, folks. That would be wonderful. If you've got any comments, keep them coming in. We want to know where you are because I'm doing the comments tonight.
In the second half.
In the second half. Okay, right. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Good.
Get your limbered up.
Pressure off immediately. Listen, here's a wee set of tunes and a wee bit of scenes for Shetland, but this is all related to the Bard, all related to Robbie Burns. The first one's the Star of Robbie Burns.
Which is named by him.
That's not by him, no, that was by somebody else. The second tune's A Man for All That. That was by him. Well, I don't know if he wrote the music. Did he write the music? I don't know. He wrote the poem. And then Duncan Gray's the third one, and The Deal's Away with the Exciseman is the last one. So a wee set of tunes for you. Enjoy, get your feet tapping, and look forward to our guests coming on very soon.
Here we go. That was cracking, Peter.
Hey, you.
You could hear the drive from your playing for a
Thank you.
gay Gordons.
A wee gay Gordons. A wee gay Gordons. There's nothing like a wee gay Gordons, and the Burns tunes are good. That was one of my wee tricks there, doing my playing everything job.
Is that because nobody wants to play with you anymore?
Nobody wants to play with me anymore, so I just start double tracking everything. And I've got a new CD out, guys.
You've got a new CD out?
All for one. Done it all myself. In the house. If you'd like a copy, jump onto Peterwood Music, please. It'll help me put fuel in the car.
Put the lights on.
Put the lights on and put fuel in the car. It's getting lighter. It's getting ridiculous. Right.
When is some of them? July.
What actual date is it? Is it the 21st of June? Yeah, you don't need your lights on that night. We'll be able to save some power up here. We're starting to get windmills all over the shop, but we'll not need them in some of them.
Yeah, 21st June.
21st of June, yeah. They usually have a golf competition right through the night and play right through.
Playing?
No, I can't play golf. I can't play golf at all.
You can't play the accordion either, but you still do it.
Oh, thanks very much. Thank you. Cheers. You're a gentleman.
You're welcome.
Right.
You're welcome.
Was it just a wee quick note on all the tunes that we've done for the auction? Folks, will be getting your copies out to you very, very soon, within the next fortnight. I've got them all done. I've had a wee request to one of my recordings to get Mr. Andy Kane on it for them as well, with a fiddle. So that work out good. I'll get him doing something. I can get him on the fiddle and do it.
He's always on the fiddle.
He's always on the fiddle anyway. But yeah, good. So that's great. So listen, we've got 2 cracking guests for everybody tonight, haven't we? Please keep sharing, folks. Keep the comments coming in. Remember, we're on Facebook pages. We're on Tartan Tunes. We're on Peterwood Music. What else are we on?
Tunes in the House.
Tunes in the House. And we're also on YouTube, Tartan Tunes. Search for it there, and you can go and watch us on the big telly. Telly. And then we've also got Twitter as well. If you're looking for Twitter, you can find us there. There you go. Some folk, imagine watching us on the telly.
But Mum does it.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
This on big screen, not good.
I know, that's what mums are good for support, you know. It's good. Anyway, tell us. A couple of gentlemen you knew better than I did, but we're looking forward to getting them knowing them here tonight.
We are. We have hailing from the borders of Scotland. We have the 2011 Young Triad finalist, back when he had the baby face, 18-year-old look. I've just seen the picture. It's hilarious. And yeah, he's the accordion player of the band called Dallahan, as well as other bits and pieces. And he is bringing out a solo album this year. I'm also going to discuss about that. We have the one, the only, Mr. Andrew Waite.
Hey.
Hey, Andrew, welcome.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Good.
Yeah, I'd say a 9 out of 10.
Brilliant.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
There's Viola just joined us from Boston in the States.
Massachusetts.
So, cool.
So, brilliant. So how's things going, Andrew? Are you doing all right?
All good, yeah. Had a wee gig last night with my pal Kieran and Chris, who's coming on later.
Great. Gig's starting to pick up a wee bit again now.
Yeah, it's actually great now. I was meant to be on tour in Germany, like doing a solo tour, but it got cancelled because of COVID. Still happening a wee bit, but I managed to pick up quite a few wee things. So it's not actually grand. Yeah, I played with a really amazing singer, Siobhan Miller, last week.
Very good singer.
And she's lovely, so it was nice getting to play with her. So yeah,
you've also recently been on tour in Germany with one of our previous guests, Mr. Ali Lavac.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, that was fun.
I've got her name, Beth
Malcolm, yeah.
Yes, who's also a former guest.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Beth was a guest on the show when I was on the show as a guest.
Oh, hey.
The last time I saw Beth was 3 years ago. Well, no, apart from being on the show. But it was at Orkney Folk Festival, and it was the first time I'd ever met her. Her and her father were up playing.
All right, cool.
We ended up on the island of Sandy with the Poozies and Jim and Beth Malcolm and ourselves, and we had a cracking night. And then we got her on the show, so I've been kind of following her since. But she's got a great voice, magic voice.
Yeah, she's brilliant writer.
Absolutely, really, really good.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, she's brilliant. That was a fun tour.
Yeah, I've seen some of the behind the scenes footage with Lavac, and it did seem like it was a cracking couple of gigs. So, Andrew, tell us a bit about how you started with playing accordion. You come from an accordion family, don't you?
Yeah, my papa, like my mum's dad, used to play accordion. So I think he died when I was about 10 or something. So I started when I was about 6. So I think I kind of just, mum and dad said, I just pointed at what he was doing and said I wanted to do it as well. So.
Okay. So did he play down in the Borders area and things, or did he go out playing?
Yeah, I think so. He played a bit, more like straight up, country dance stuff.
Yeah.
And on the 5-row button.
Okay. All right.
So it's kind of.
What was his name?
This is embarrassing. I just call him Papa.
Oh yeah, that'll do.
Come on,
Papa's good. I'm sure there'll be people know. People out there will know.
John Hamilton.
John Hamilton, right? And a 5-row player, and of course, piano was usually the dominant one rather than the 5-row. So quite often, when you met a 5-row player, they were a bit further between each other, kind of style thing than the piano.
Yeah.
So that's where the interest came from. Do you think, hearing him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I'm a simple enough person that I just copy what I see. So I just copied what he was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just done it ever since.
So when you started, we were briefly chatting before you come on there, and you said Ian Lothian taught you a bit.
Yeah.
And we had Ian on last week as a guest. So it's
cool, yeah. He's a legend.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I mean, Ian studied classical everything and came back, and he said, I came back with this great, idea he was going to be this classical teacher and teach everybody that. And then he says, I started teaching all this kind of farmers' boys and things like that. And they were like, we're not wanting to play that. We're wanting to play jigs and reels and things like that. So he said he suddenly found he was turned around then to doing that. But still, even when Ian did do his traditional stuff, it was really innovative at the time and all that. And he was very forward thinking. And I think that comes through in your playing a lot as well. You know, you followed the same kind of lines.
Very much so.
Some of his tunes, I'm sure you'll know lots of them, but like his tunes, like even though he's not played like as many concerts recently or like released albums, everyone knows his tunes. It's like all over England as well. Like they're really well known now.
Yeah. And I mean, he toured for a while with Katrina MacDonald for Shetland.
Have you heard that album they did together?
Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like a ponytail in the front cover.
Well, actually, we found a video with him with the ponytail last week.
Oh, really? He's playing a 5-row in that, isn't he? He's playing big box.
Yep. The Bayan, or whatever they call it, the great big huge thing.
Yeah. As I mentioned at the start, you currently play with Dallahan.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about Dallahan? It was 2015 you joined them, wasn't it?
I think about that. Yeah, I remember they called me up on my 21st birthday, and we're just like, I thought it was just someone I didn't know wishing me happy birthday, and then they were like, oh, do you want to come and play with us? And then I was like, I played some of the music and liked it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then Kieran was just like, just out of interest, was like, had you heard of this band before? And I was like, nah, sorry.
Kieran loved that. He's like, oh.
Yeah. I felt bad in hindsight. I was just like, nah. But no, they are. I really love playing with those guys. They're amazing players.
Yeah.
Because you were nominated Folk Band of the Year in 2016, weren't you? The Trads, and then the album Matter of Time was nominated as well for Album of the Year in 2016. Yeah. So it's a band with kind of a bit of clout behind it after you joined. You can see that it's kind of went further as it progressed.
Yeah, it's going quite well. We've done a third album since Matter of Time, Small World, and Chris actually recorded that with us, and he engineered it and mixed it. But that was kind of like, we did that the year before COVID,
right? So
we kind of feel like we're starting again a bit now.
Did you get a chance to tour any of that at all?
The album, yeah, we did. I think a couple of Germany tours, one UK one. Yeah, maybe that was the time we did the Denmark tour as well, but I'm not sure.
Right, okay. Because we've got a track here called Marina.
Oh yeah.
Is that from that album? Yeah.
No, this is we're about to make a new album, so this is just a new single that we're releasing, like just to get everyone excited again.
Hey, is this an exclusive?
No, it's been released.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
We're spending loads of money on pushing it on Facebook, so we're obviously doing that very well.
Yeah,
do you want to tell us a bit about the track?
Jack wrote the song, Jack Badcock, and then we all arranged it together as Dallahan. It's about, he's very into his history and stuff, so he writes songs just about like random things that have happened before. He tells me about it, but I tend to zone out at those moments.
I think that's an accordion player thing, because I do the same sometimes. The thing is, I've never. Occasionally, I surprise myself and listen to the words of a song.
I'd listen to the words.
Really play this.
But sometimes it still doesn't mean I know what they're on about. I'll listen to the words and can sing along, but I'm just like, well, I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, brilliant.
Exactly. So here we have Marina by Dallahan.
Cool.
Magic.
If I'd ever seen her, place it at her feet. Oh, Marina, married to deceit, to be his deceiver was her living deed. Oh, how she tore the world anew and came alive, as Cortez put the fire in her eyes. Wasn't human, but the devil in disguise. Could start, men of bad intentions, a poison in her heart, a pain that would ignite their world all in flames, but she'd gain herself power all the same. Oh, how she tore the world anew and came alive, as Cortez put the fire in her eyes. He wasn't human, but the devil in disguise. How she tore the world anew and came alive, as Cortez put the fire in her eyes. Wasn't human, but the devil in disguise. If I caused any pain at all, know that I only meant the fall of one. Time will heal from ways.
Oh yeah, that's driving along. Cool.
I'm quite chuffed
Good thing
with
there.
that one turned out.
the good thing there is that a lot of our audience would not be aware of Dallahan, and they wouldn't have known what to expect. And I think they'll be pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. I'm glad you like him.
Yeah, it's really enjoyed it. Really nice.
I've known Kieran for years.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I was Kieran's from Brecon.
Yeah.
I used to play in the sessions in Three Bellies in Kirriemuir with him, his dad, and his sister.
All right, cool.
A long time
ago.
Ryans. I know the Ryans. I do. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But phenomenal banjo player. We've actually asked him to come on the show, but unfortunately, we couldn't do a live show with him because he gigs every Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of. I think we're looking at probably do a pre-record with him. And get some chat because he's a phenomenal banjo player.
Yeah,
I don't say that with banjo players very often.
Within the parameters of what a banjo can be, he's probably about as good as it can be.
But ain't that a good complaint though in this day and age as well? I'm playing every Sunday night. That's a cool.
I know, someone's doing all right.
I like to hear that. We went right through when we started this show. We started right at the beginning of the COVID times and all that, and obviously we were doing it as a kind of platform to try and keep another platform basically for folk just to get out there and promote themselves a bit and push stuff. And but it's developed now. And when we kind of got to the end of it, folk were saying, "Oh, I hope you're going to keep this going." So we thought, but the direction now is just to focus on what everybody's doing now. There's no point in looking at the past 2 years and going, "Oh, what did you do?"
Because no one's done anything fun the last 2 years.
Well, we're all in the same boat, and we're just kind of like, right. The only good thing I can see about it is hopefully my next birthday, I'm going to write a couple of years off the age and start again. That's.
I don't think that's how it works, Pierre.
I'm hoping.
No, I think that is how it works. I'm doing the same.
I'm hoping.
We're actually 26 again.
And then have you got tours? You've got tours coming in. You mentioned Germany and Denmark quite a bit there and things. And is that quite a lucrative area to go play, etc. Then?
Yeah, for some reason in Germany they love the trad.
Yeah.
I think in different projects and by myself, I go out there a couple of times a year.
Right.
It's like they just really they put so much care and effort into making gigs happen and promoting
I
think they take musicians seriously as well. They see it as an art form, and sometimes we were just speaking about this the other night with the guys in the band. The old days when people used to say, "Oh, there's a bottle of whiskey. We'll just get the musicians to come. That'll keep them happy." That ain't going to pay. That ain't going to pay the bills, and that ain't.
Totally.
And we've probably put more time into learning our profession than a lot of other people have, So so I like that, and I like to say Scandinavia's musicians unions and things are really pretty strict in venues for paying certain fees and all that stuff. I think that's a fantastic
thing. And wherever you go,
brilliant. Why not? It'd be nice if that was everywhere. To be honest, I really like that.
It's sometimes it feels like the UK, maybe it has the most amount of traditional music of maybe any country, but they almost care so much less about putting on gigs than the rest of Europe. If you go there, they're even if you're playing a small venue, there's posters plastered all over the towns, and they want to promote it, they want to pay the band well, and they want loads of people to come. They just they're like, oh yeah, like you say, you get your bottle of whiskey or your tiny guarantee, and then they're like, oh well, I better not promote it because I don't want to waste any more money.
That's it. So the one thing, as you mentioned, you are releasing a new album yourself, a solo album. And you're also planning on going and touring solo as well. That must be handy as well when you're taking all the fee home yourself.
It's quite nice for that. And the best thing is after touring so much with Dallahan, when none of them can do what they need to do at the right time, it's quite nice. It's quite nice, leaving the hotel whenever you want and going for dinner whenever you want.
How do you find
herding cats into your car, driving them somewhere?
When you go to do a solo show, But it must be quite different sitting on stage yourself to say than with a band. You've got the kind of, the kind of support of a band. All of a sudden, you're very exposed, aren't you, as a solo musician? You're just sitting in yourself.
Your chops need to be on point when you're playing by yourself because you've got nowhere to hide. But I quite like the pressure of. I like that I can't have a beer before I play solo, and I like that I have to warm up for an hour beforehand. It's quite nice having. Because in bands, you can get away with a lot of.
So when you go on stage, do you basically sit with the acoustic instrument and play it?
I plug it in my left hand into a DI, so it's like a really bassy sound at points. So between that and sometimes I use like a stomp box.
Yeah.
So between that, sometimes you can get a bigger sound. And I was doing. It feels like a lifetime ago, but I did solo tours at the end of 2019.
Okay.
And I was doing songs for that as well, just like a few songs per half. Yeah. And now it's like I've got my next solo tour is in September.
Right.
So I'm a bit like, I need to get back on the scene for that.
Is that a British tour? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to. I don't know if I've got it on my website yet. There's still a couple of dates to finalise, but I've got a few. Okay. I've got most of them already.
Because what we want folk to do is start to follow you on social media, etc.
Yeah, please.
There's Facebook. There's Facebook one. Remember, these shows are all recorded, folks, so don't go rushing for pens and pencils. You just look back and you'll be able to find stuff.
Exactly. We're going to hear this. Yeah. We're going to hear a solo track for you. It's the One Bus set.
All right.
Do you want to tell us about that set?
I've got a funny story about this one.
Go for it.
So the last tune in this set I wrote when I was in London. I used to play with an English folk singer, Eliza Carthy.
Very famous.
Yeah, she's lovely. I was playing with her down in London. And I was cutting about, like getting coffees and that in the afternoon. And this guy on the other side of the street, he like stood out onto the road and all of his pals grabbed him and pulled him back. And then as I walked past him, I overheard the funniest thing I've ever heard. He just said, as I walked past, he was like, Jesus, guys, you get hit by one bus and then nobody trusts you anymore. So I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. So I was like, all right, it's not one bus.
One bus. Excellent.
Let's have a listen.
Fabulous.
Cheers.
Not bad for one take.
Yeah, good stuff.
Really nice, tone you're getting out the box there. It's a really, really nice, mellow, reedy, nice sound. Wood sound.
I've got mine tuned super straight.
Yeah.
I'm not into the musette as much.
No, me neither. I'm not into things being too musette nowadays.
Yeah.
I remember the olden days playing in dance bands and things, and everyone was screaming wide musettes, and I remember a fiddle
in front of a fan.
Yeah, I remember a fiddle player one night playing with me, and I had this accordion that was really, really wide tuned, and he said, "What rig do you want me to tune to?" Okay. So no, I actually really like that straight tune. It's really nice. So what was I going to ask you? When you were growing up then, influences from accordion? You said your grandfather, but was there people you were listening to that you really liked once you had started playing and that really influenced you?
Yeah, there's hundreds, and still is, I suppose.
Yeah.
One of the early days ones that I loved was Alan Kelly.
Oh yeah.
He's an Irish box player. It's like super clean, like really crisp right hand.
First time I met him a couple of times up here at Shetland Folk Festivals, and Alan, the first time, and I met him at Ayr. I'd done a festival in Ayr once, and he was there, and he almost sounded like he was playing a button box at one point. The style he was playing, but in a piano box, amazing. Yeah.
No, it's so good. It's so crisp and clean.
I'm trying to remember his album that I used to listen to all the time. Was that Out of the Blue? Was it?
There's Out of the Blue. There was another one, Mosaic, as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, no, he was a great player. Great player.
Yeah, he was so good. Another one would be Sharon Shannon was maybe my biggest influence. Like all the fine detail ornamentation stuff, like a lot of that, it's not really done on piano box very much.
That's right.
It's kind of learned from the way she would ornament tunes on her earlier albums. I don't know if you've heard them. There's some, and it's the best accordion playing ever. It's like so crisp. It's
I always think as well, and you were using that ornamentation in the last set you were playing there. Sometimes you're doing. I often think Scottish music, a lot of the ornamentation is like coming down the way. It's coming down the scale, whereas when you hear the Irish stuff, there's ornamentation going up the way as well. And we tend not to do that and find it quite hard to do because of the way we've played for a while. But
it's hard to do the triplets moving up the scale.
Moving up, yeah. But you've kind of cracked that there. You've got that style.
Yeah.
What was that?
Practice.
You're mean. That guy's mean.
Oh, he's a piper. Did he tell you that? Did he tell you he's a piper?
No, I think I knew.
Yeah, you can.
I could tell.
Like, is that what it is?
I started off as a piper and then went over
converted.
To the box.
We've all got a past,
Went over to the box and then things got better. So.
We've got another video here of another band you play with called Fourth Moon.
Yeah. We made an album together last summer. I don't know. I don't know if that's one of your tracks that you're playing. Have you got one for it?
For Fourth Moon.
Yeah, you can if you want.
Yeah.
Is that one of them?
Yeah.
I'm one of the folk in the band who doesn't. I've got one of the CDs. I never even saw one until it'd been on sale for like a year or like 6 months.
Wow.
And I still had never held a copy. I mean, I've not looked inside it yet, as you can see, but looks nice.
If you keep it sealed, it's worth more.
Yeah. Still worth very little, though, if I'm honest.
We've got the track Marine Clean.
Oh, yeah, that was some tunes I wrote over lockdown because I got a job. I can't really sit still, so I got a job. I think it was about July 2020. I started working with this company, Marine Clean, at Cameron House in Loch Lomond.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just bumped into this guy and started speaking to him, and I was like, "How you doing, man?" He was like, busy. Do you need a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I worked with him for about 18 months, and I still go and see him occasionally now. So this is tunes that I wrote in my head while I was working for Marine Clean.
Brilliant.
Yeah, let's have a listen to this.
Wow, that's kind of good writing that in your head while you were doing something else.
I was just not doing a good job of what I was actually meant to be doing.
But you still lasted 18 months.
Yeah, I think my boss just liked, I took the piss a lot, and I think he just liked that. So I think that's why I lasted.
That's always one way to do it.
You noticed in that video how just before that video we had a massive argument with the band. So like half the band were speaking to the other lot, and the middle player is clearly just like.
I remember one night playing at a dance, and the bass player and the drummer fell out just as we went to start a strip solo or something. And it was unbelievable. It was just like this drummer increased in volume by tenfold, and the bass player was playing the bass like he was using a bow and arrow or something like that. It was just mental. It wasn't pleasant.
Oh, dearie me.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, you're obviously doing your new album, and we want folk to go and join you over on your social media.
Yeah, I'm about to release a Kickstarter, just to get it out finally, just to pay for like all the printing and PR and stuff. More just as a kind of a way just to encourage the pre-sales. You know, if you've got something like that to share, it tends to get more traction.
Tell us about a Kickstarter. This is really the first time I've heard somebody using the terms very much at all. So tell people what a Kickstarter is.
Well, I might be the least informed person about this, but as I believe it's like you put up a page and you can just buy. Some people do it as a way, like, you know, buy me a cup of coffee or all this stuff.
Yeah.
But mine is just going to be pre-order the album. It's like physical copy will be X amount. Download it straight from my website or Bandcamp will be X amount. And then if you want a house concert, which I'm going to offer maybe 4 of them as part of it.
Right.
Yeah, and then some people set where there's like a goal that it needs to get to, and then once it goes above that amount, then you unlock the money.
Got you.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's
so for people that want a house concert, how does that go then? They put in an amount and you would do a house concert?
Yeah, I'll set the price for the house concert on the thing. And it would have to be UK only. Like,
yeah.
So if your Kenyan fan comes back again from last week, I'll probably struggle making it over there. But
well, unless they pay you to go there, that's fine. It's a nice wee gig if you get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it back.
Yeah. I'm going out to Uganda at the end of November to do a gig this year, so that's a bit different. Yeah. So,
to be fair, the only reason they hired Peter is because he can play the accordion and the pipes. So it's half the price.
Yeah.
But I can't do it at the same time though, so it's right.
I suppose
you can barely do either.
I feel like
Andrew, you've realised though he is mean, isn't he? Quite mean.
He is a bit mean. Classic piper.
Yeah, like
right. So that's great. So have you done things like that before then? A house concert. It's a concept I've never done one myself yet. But
I've done Dallahan in the early days. We did one for this lovely like family in Carlisle. They had a big house and they just invited like around like 40 of their pals.
Right. Yeah.
But it's a nice thing to do, like, because often on tour, a night off is just a waste of money. It's like if you have to buy hotels and then you need to go out and drink at least 6 pints per person. So you know that adds up to quite a lot of money. So it's better to have a gig.
Yeah,
keep everyone on the straight and narrow.
Keeps you out of the way. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's great.
Is that something that you find is kind of becoming more popular, or do you think it's kind of it really depends on the location?
I think it just depends on the location, and I feel like it could happen more. I don't know. There's an amazing house concert down near Cheshire. This cool couple that go to Celtic Connections every year. They have people in their house, and they've got a perfect house for it where they can get about 50 people in or whatever.
Yeah.
So it means that if you're on tour and you can stay with this really cool people and then have a little concert as well. And it is nice, the different environment. Like playing acoustically is fun.
Yeah.
And also like being super intimate where you can just chat to people, and if it feels right, you can just interact and chat for ages, you know?
Yeah.
It's good.
I do like the acoustic concerts for that reason. It makes it more personal.
Do you find with your acoustic concerts that you lose something compared to the solo kind of amped up concerts, or do you think it kind of enhances it with the fact you can interact?
Yeah, I suppose it's not the same, but I guess the sound quality is better. You know, it's like hearing a really nice instrument played, hopefully quite well, is surely better than any, you know, even if you spend thousands on your microphones and then still put it through some speakers at a gig, you're not going to make it sound the actual tone isn't going to be any better, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, at best, it'll be the same and louder, but it's never that, you know.
I quite like the acoustic thing and the ambience you get when you're sitting in amongst an audience that's round about you, that's breathing and talking, and you become part of that whole being rather than and as you say, once you get the crack going with people, sometimes it's really great fun. It's really good fun. Whereas you're not so alienated as you're up on stage all mic'd up.
I did one house concert by myself like a couple of years ago. I was playing a gig in Wales and I can't remember what the problem was, but something happened with the venue where they couldn't put the gig on. So someone just put on a house concert and I just played to like 40 people in a living room.
Mm-hmm.
It was like not as glam as I was hoping for the tour to be, but it was actually great. Nicely warm up.
Have you got a title for your album as yet?
Yeah. It sounds a bit arty-farty, so bear with me. I've had this idea that I'm going to do this album. I'm going to carry on doing like band CDs, but I'd like to do a solo CD where I record it all live in a day or two and just put that out every like maybe 18 months or a year. So this is called Self-Portrait 2022 because I'm just going to do another one, Self-Portrait 23 next year. I'm just going to make it a running theme, just trying to capture what the ideas are sounding like at the moment and what the playing's sounding like at the moment without any editing or, you know, without any...
Yeah. I remember seeing on your Instagram you had some of the outtakes from the recording sessions.
Yeah.
Yes, that was rather amusing. We've got time for one more video, Andrew, before we get your brother on. Would you prefer we did Ivors or Rosalie Drive?
Ivors is like a fancy filmed one, but Rosalie Drive is on the new album. Maybe go for Rosalie Drive then.
Okay. You want to tell us about the set?
I've got I don't want to ramble on for too long if you're short on time, but I've got it's one of the best and worst things that's ever happened. So my girlfriend's a social worker, and she was on a Zoom call, and I thought she was on an audio call one day, and I was in the shower, and then I got out the shower and I heard my mobile going off in the room where she was working. So I like creep in the background, fully naked. And then at that moment, she turns away from the laptop to turn my phone off, and it's just me. And like I see in the little screen in the corner, I just see my naked body, and then this man going like in the webcam.
Oh. Well, I'm sure it happened to more than yourself in the last couple of years.
I was a bit embarrassed, but I was just so happy I could tell everyone about it because I think it's so funny.
Well, on the good side, on the good side though, you were supposed to be there.
Pardon?
Oh yeah.
On the good side, you were supposed to be there. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Just random. So for those, just before we go, for those that are wanting to find out more information about the album, they can go to your Facebook page. They can also
Facebook and Instagram,
and they also jump on your website as you update that. And would you have a rough launch date for the new album?
I'm hoping for maybe end of June-ish.
Well,
So I'm hopefully going to launch the Kickstarter because it's all I've finished recording it. So I'm hopefully going to launch the Kickstarter in the next week-ish. So and I'm going to try and promote it and stuff. So yeah, if people follow me on the Instagram and the Facebook, they should see it. If I do my job properly, then you'll hopefully all see it. But
watch out for that, folks. And Andrew, you're most welcome to share it over on the Tartan Tunes pages as well.
Oh yeah, thank you.
It's fire across with that shared. Andrew, it's been great having you on tonight, and we're going to kind of play out with Rosalie Drive.
It's always great to have an accordion player on.
Yeah, it's nice speaking to him.
That's 2 in 2 weeks. That's 2 in 2 weeks, Peter.
Yeah, that's been good.
Chris,
Andrew, it's been great having it's been great having you, mate. And so here we go, Rosalie Drive, and we'll
thanks very much.
All this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you later on, guys.
Yeah, good stuff. Very articulate playing that.
Articulated.
Articulate. You know what I meant to say.
Full of technique.
And clean playing.
Clean playing.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and it's very nice to hear what would refer to like kind of a trad musician playing a continental style, modern kind of.
Aye, yeah, and the Irish style coming into it and everything. There's a bit of everything
a bit of
coming in
mix.
there. Yeah, great. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying the show tonight. Keep the comments coming in. Be fine to know where you are, what you're thinking of the show, and if you're enjoying yourself. And please keep sharing. It'd be fantastic if you can keep sharing the show for us. It keeps it all going. Thank you, Kathleen. Said awesome play. There we go. Right, tell us. Take over.
So you would have heard this name mentioned a few times in the past. Grand's House Studios, which is owned by, of course, Angus Lyon.
Yep.
What's that band called? That wee band. What's it called?
Something the fiddles on fire or something.
Firing Fiddles, Hot Fiddles, Blazing Fiddles. That's the one. That's the band. Well, we have.
I was going to say burnt gut, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. So we
actually,
have.
Don't say anything nasty about them. They're coming to Orkney Folk Festival, and I'll see them in a week's time. So don't say anything nasty.
I'm not saying that's nasty.
Right, come on.
Well, of course, then you also have the name, and this next gentleman actually works at Grand's House as an engineer and producer for some of the finest trad musicians that come through the doors, and some of the non-fine traditional musicians that come through the doors.
And he's also an exceptionally fine piper.
He is, and an exceptionally fine guitarist.
Yeah.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on Mr. Chris Waite, the elder brother.
Chris.
Hi.
Evening.
How are we doing?
Not too bad, folks. How are you?
We're good. And your little
Doing
brother
well.
didn't say anything nasty about you at all.
He knows better than that. Like, he knows better.
That's good. You grass him up, wouldn't you?
Brilliant.
So, Chris, it's great having you on tonight. As you mentioned, you are a piper.
Mm-hmm. Guilty.
And as you said in your biography that you sent us, it's a household of accordion players.
Yeah. Not a household, but like extended family. And I seem to be related to most of them. Like Angus that I work with at the studio is some kind of cousin. And Tom R, the box player, is mine and Andrew's second cousin. And Papa had the dance band back when. So yeah, went against the grain and learned the pipes.
Tom Orr's mum worked in the same school with my mum as well.
Nice.
But I've known Tom all his life, and Angus. So they're about the same age actually. That pair, they can't be that far between each other. All playing different styles and quite innovative players, both of them in their own right. Angus done his style, and even though Tom done a lot more with Scottish dance music, it's pretty forward-thinking stuff he's doing.
Yeah, very much so. The pipes you started learning at a young age. Do you want to tell us a bit about how you kind of got into the pipes and why the pipes over the box?
It's easier to carry a boot.
I saw, they're lighter. They go in your back easier. I just heard the pipe band in Duns, near where we're from, and the guy that is pipe major of Duns Pipe Band is Dad's boss. Right. So he taught me when I was quite young, and he was proper strict, kind of like he was ex-Black Watch, so.
Right.
Like, have you practiced enough? Yeah, I practiced 3 hours. That's not enough. Like hammered in the scales and grace notes and exercises from a pretty young age. And that was it. Yeah, just pipe band, really.
So the pipe band, that's what attracted me as well. I just heard the local pipe band playing in a square, and when I was little, and that's it. I wanted to play that sound. I just loved it.
I think it's like, I guess because I haven't heard, like, I don't hear as many pipe bands. Still, like when you hear, it's like obviously it's different watching a video or listening to like the world CDs and stuff. But it's like just that, the noise, and like when the drones are all locked in, it is just an enormous sound that hits you.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
even the drums are quite good as well, I guess. But it's I must have, I don't remember it, but I must have just been taken by that racket when I was about.
So what age were you when you started? Then were you?
9 when I went to the pipe band. I think I'd been asking for quite a long time before that. But I think it was before you got like junior size chanters. So he was like, "You've got to be 9, so your hands are big enough," type thing. But
that was my problem when I started. I got taken along to the practice hall a couple of times, and they went, "Nope, fingers ain't long enough yet. Come back in 6 months." Oh, God.
Yeah,
but,
that's the excuse they give you.
No.
No
they had
fingers.
To take me in the head. They had to take me in the
head. So you played the pipes from up to age of 9. You then went to the National Traditional School of Excellence at Plockton as well.
Oh,
yeah, just for my last 2 years of school, I went up there. So, purely for Ian McFadden. I didn't really know. There was a guy that was a few years older than me at Duns High School who went there for his 6th year, and I was like, so I googled it, and I was like, oh, Ian McFadden's a pipe teacher. I'm sold. I'm going there. I auditioned and got in without really knowing anything more than Ian McFadden was the pipe teacher, and I really want Ian McFadden as my pipe teacher. And then obviously I got there, and there was a lot more than that going on, and learned other instruments, and you do like group work and playing with musicians that aren't pipes. So playing along with fiddles and voices and all that kind of stuff, which
so did you go with
Ross Cooper from Shetland up here went to the Plockton as well.
Yeah, he was my roommate. Is
that right? Okay.
And for the first few weeks,
you picked a quiet roommate then.
I think we got separated quite quickly.
The thing about the School of Excellence, for folks out there, viewers out there that haven't heard it is a School of Excellence in music up in Plockton, and quite often people go up to do their last couple of years education, and it's a good stepping stone, isn't it, to go into university or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely changed me. So like I was quite straight down the line. I did the band, and at that point I started competing and learning Pibroch and stuff. But going there, it kind of opened my eyes to focus. Like I don't think I'd heard a folk album until I got there, type thing, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. This kind of carry on. So it definitely changed me, that experience. Like it was good. And
there's even palm trees in Plockton. So
I know. That was one of the first things I noticed. Like, what the hell's that doing here?
Palm trees.
Did you go with one instrument, or did you already go have a second instrument to your arsenal?
No. So I owned a whistle, but I wouldn't say I played it. So then I did a year of whistle, and then in 6th year I took up the guitar.
Okay.
Just as that was my second then. So.
And did you get instruction? Did you get lessons up at Plockton on the guitar then?
Yeah, there was a guy called, in fact, I think he's still there, a guy called Jack Evans that was in the Easy Club.
Yeah,
he was the guitar tutor.
Yeah.
He
was really cool actually. He was a great teacher.
Brilliant.
But of course, you did mention that you did solo competition. So we're going to actually bring up the first video, and it's a set of 2/4s.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to tell us what the tunes are and why you picked them, why you want to play them, sort of thing?
I kind of always, if I pick up the pipes to play them, which is, I'm not going to say every day, but try and pick them up 5 days out of 7. And I always kind of play 2/4s first. I think it's just like, even regardless of what you're going on to do, like if you're playing a ceilidh or a wedding, or you've got a gig, I don't think there's a better warm up
a couple of 2/4s.
or anything than
Bloody
getting
Lord.
2 4s. I'll just put in my disclaimer. I meant to take a change of clothes with me to the studio to film these, and I was like leaving the house. I was like, I've got pipes, I've got a camera, I need that hard drive, I need this. I was like, get out of the car, and I get there and I set up the camera and I set up the mics. I'm like, oh, I'm in my scabby joggers. So please excuse me that I didn't put something better or a kilt on or something. But
I wouldn't worry about it. We're not always that posh, so it doesn't.
No, exactly. So the names of these tunes are.
The tunes. First one's a tongue tie. Arthur Bignold of Lochrosk and Miss Elspeth Campbell.
Great tunes.
Here we go.
Great playing.
You can tell you're very comfortable playing that set of pipes.
Yeah, that's my new pipes.
The new pipes.
Yeah.
Go on, tell us about your new pipes.
So me and my wife just celebrated our 10th wedding anniversary, and we were talking about presents and all that.
And you bought her a set of pipes for us.
I bought her a set of pipes, yeah. And as you can see, she really appreciates them because they've got a great resonance on the top hand. They're my new pipes by Derek Barr, who Davey knows very well.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love them. Playing them all the
Great.
time.
So that's a brand new set of pipes then?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We're talking, was it 4 weeks ago?
Okay.
Something like that. Or maybe no, I got them a wee bit earlier. March or sometime in March I got them, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Still long.
sounding great.
And that's African Blackwood with boxwood, isn't it? Boxwood mounts.
Boxwood on the mounts, yeah.
Yeah, and the nickel ferrules.
Cheers.
Yes, definitely aesthetically pleasing kind of style, which I think Derek's done a lot of sets that way. Because there you go. Look at this.
Hey, there he is.
There you go.
I did it.
I just like to point out, Chris, not me. It's not me typing that one this time. Yeah, Derek's pipes are always aesthetically pleasing as well. I also play a set of Blackwood and an Italian olive wood.
Yours are cool. They're really cool.
And they are a one-off because I'm the only person that managed to buy Italian olive wood from.
I'm feeling a wee bit left out here. Are you guys showing off with your new pipes? And I've only got a set of Hendersons that's 100-year-old.
You want a new set?
I'll swap them.
Derek, he won't swap them. He's not meaning that. But as you mentioned before, you started playing guitar as well at Plockton, and you've kind of became one of the most how to word this, easy to rely on accompanists for bands, trad bands. I've seen you just give me a copy.
New set.
Because you play with a Ceilidh band called Kilter as well, is that correct? Yeah. Well, that's kind of a Celtic rock sort of drive Ceilidh band, isn't it?
It's kind of so that I'm sometimes on guitar, sometimes on pipes for that, but it's quite rocky or funky, I guess. It's the piano player called Harris Playfair that plays with us. And
Harris,
we get some quite expensive sounding chords when he's playing with us.
A Shetland man.
Yeah, he's a Shetlander. Yeah.
Just up the road from where I am. He comes from originally Cork. Actually, it's quite interesting because the girls, Bethany and Jenna Reid, came from Cork as well. And of course, Harris plays with Jenna. I think they're just recording a new album with you, were they?
They were recording a new album. It was I don't know where they were. They weren't ours.
No, yeah. But was Blazers and Fiddle looking at you then?
Yeah, they're just.
They've been just. I knew they were there. I saw something on them. Right.
And actually, Bethany's husband plays in Kilter as well. It's my best pal, James.
And then Bethany, I happened to notice in the wee bio you sent us in just to read, you done the BA Applied Music course at Strathclyde.
Yeah.
And Bethany done that course there as well, didn't she? She done that.
Yeah, she was just a couple of years above me.
And then Strathclyde stopped doing it. And it went to the UHI with Mark Sheridan, and I done it in the first year at UHI when it was there. So, yeah, so I done it 10 years ago or something, but Mark Sheridan had moved up and took over the UHI course. So with Anna Wendy Stevenson, so it was good.
Yeah.
So is that where you started kind of doing the sound side of things, or was that something that started at Plockton as well?
A wee bit at Plockton. They had a studio there, and I think it just because I knew how to work it a little bit, or I was intrigued in how it worked. I ended up recording like other folks, like projects, like advanced higher music stuff. You just help out recording and that. But yeah, definitely got into it more at Strathclyde. It's quite because maybe slightly to a fault, but in a good way as well. That course is so broad. It's like you can do modules in film composition. You can play a jazz instrument. You can be a classical singer. You can be a piper. You can do production. You can do it's everything. So you can choose from a multitude of things. So
I really enjoyed that course because of that. Even with you, it's similar with UHI, it covered such a broad spectrum. It was great.
Yeah, kind of lets you just make up your own mind as to what you like best.
As Andrew mentioned earlier on, you also play with Kieran Ryan.
Yep.
Which you obviously play guitar on. So we're going to have a track from yourselves. Is Andrew playing this track as well? Is he banjaxed?
He's not in that video, but he is now.
No, I didn't think so. I was like, I don't recognise him.
No, yeah, that was when he was doing that tour with Ali and Beth. He was away when we filmed this. So it was Sam Wise Mabbott playing the accordion.
So this is from BBC Alpha, and it's called Banjax. Do you want to tell us a bit about the track?
It's the title track of Kieran's album that we recorded 2018 into 2019.
Wow.
And this is a title track. It was one of the few ones he didn't have written. He just had a sketch, and we just kind of, it was kind of just pieced together as he was recording bits. We were adding, maybe go there, and yeah, it was kind of he wrote it as it was being recorded. So it's a bit of an angry tune as well. It's quite good.
Cool.
Perfect. Here's Banjaxed.
Gnorshin, Chilimich Kuku Skarsta Banjo here and Ryan, agus accordion Colin, Valve.
Cracking.
Fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. Great sound. Big sound.
It's amazing what you can do with the banjo.
What he can do with a banjo.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen out there, keep the comments coming on. Anything you want to ask or just tell us where you are. It'd be great to know what's going on.
So with the kind of engineering and mastering, etc., what was the first kind of album you worked on when you went into Grant's house? Remember that far back?
Yeah, I remember because I'd taken on this project in the old studio that I borrowed, that I was sharing with a bunch of people, and then decided to move to Grant's house and had to phone them and be like, yeah, you know, I'm doing that album for you. I've actually moved studio. Hope that's okay. The first one there, though, was the Elephant Sessions first album.
Yeah.
Which was a whole heap of fun. That was good crack.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of tracking on that one.
Yeah, it was a good couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I remember, what was the lad that played the drums with the Elephant Sessions again? His
D-Baz, Greg Barry.
Greg, yeah. He was in the course when I done the UHI one. And
yeah. I love Greg. One of my favourite people.
We got him up to Shetland, and I took him to the galley shed. That's the place where they built the big galley that the Viking ship that they burn every year up Heliah at the festival. And then he said something about, I think my grandfather was Yarrow or something. We're like, what? Anyway, we delved him upstairs into the historical part of it, and he did. He found his ancestor had been Yarrow one year, lead Viking at the Lyric of Heliah. It's amazing.
I thought it was going to go down the lines of, I think my grandfather came to Shetland as a Viking.
No, not quite. No.
Okay.
No, but great band, and they were up at the festival a couple of times. They were cooking. Everybody.
They're so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
You've done a bit of recording yourself though, Chris, over the years. I'm trying to remember the name of the band at the time. You played Border Pipes on it. Must be not long after you left Lockton.
Oh, would that have been like the Borders Pipes?
No, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it was Borders. Yeah,
I don't.
But it was an album. It was an album that can only be described as like the Unusual Suspects, but not.
Oh, was that Junction Pool?
Yeah, that's the one.
I used to play in that band.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Harris Playfair's mind. Actualized.
Brilliant album.
He'd heard Laboutine Surant.
Oh yeah.
Like with the horn section, and then backline and piano and stuff, and he wanted to do the same with Scottish tunes. So, but they were just really, really hard tunes, and we James, my mate that played pipes in that band, he'd got a set of the Border Pipes from Nigel and told Harris that it had a chromatic scale, so he went and just started writing this tune called The Piper's Nightmare that uses all of them. In the B part, it uses literally all of the half in betweeny notes.
Yeah.
Neither of us ever managed to play it from start to finish right because it was so difficult. It was horrible. It was a nightmare.
It sounds like it was that kind of tune and so difficult. Nobody would have known if you'd made a mistake in it anyway.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of that. You can get away with
it. The piping kind of took a back seat for a while, didn't it, for yourself?
Yeah, I kind of go through phases with loads of things where I'm like, I'm a guitar player, I'm a piper, I'm a mixer, I'm a mastering engineer, and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. So I kind of do all of it. Pipes did stay in the box for quite a while when I was playing a lot of guitar. Like probably I left uni in 2010 until 2015 I was just playing loads and loads of guitar. And you know yourself, if you're not quite on it with the pipes, your fingers are crap and your lips start going.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the last couple of years I've just, I don't know, just taken an interest in playing them for myself, because everyone else, it was always like playing for work, but like learning up loads of competition stuff. But I don't really have an urge to compete. But I just love playing that music, like those marches and stuff. I just enjoy playing them.
And you've abstained from the accordion so far.
So far, yeah.
Do you ever think that's in your future?
No.
How did it, tell me, stepping back a bit, you said you changed studios. How did you and Angus Lyon come together that you ended up working at Grand's house then?
I'd always known of Angus and knew of his studio. And when I was in first year at uni, I did an album for Fred Freeman. He releases kind of, I don't know what you'd call them, not historical albums, but he's this very much a themed album that you do. His Tannehill albums. This one was about border pipes, but like as in the music from the borders and stuff. Okay. And they paired myself and Angus on a track for that. Right. That was the first time I played with him.
Right.
I believe. Yeah. But I kind of always knew who he was, and I was a bit of a fan when I was a teenager. So.
Well, it's getting the studio's getting a fantastic reputation now.
It's a nice place to go to work.
It's a wonderful place, isn't it? You look right over the River Clyde there. You sit there looking out the window.
Yeah.
I look at it, when I went there, I couldn't believe it. It's the bit of water that I used to fish for trout in, and here's a studio looking right over the top of it. It's kind of cool.
The thing is, Peter, the studio's always been there. The trout, isn't it?
I don't think there's as many trout now as there used to be in the olden days, but that was it. So, what we having, David?
We're going to get a spades and reels.
Oh, it was National Strathspey Day the other day, apparently.
It was. Did you play your Strathspey, Peter?
No, but it was also National Naked Gardeners Day the other day, and I didn't garden naked either. So
you could have killed two birds with one stone. The naked
Strathspey
garden.
Naked Strathspey. Yeah, I will.
Give the people what they want.
So, do you remember what tunes you're playing?
I think so. So it's Dora MacLeod.
Yep.
Lady Loudon, Angus and Ailey Mackenzie's, and Lumsden's Rant. Lumsden's Rant. I think it's a rant.
Yeah. That was on the Back of the Moon album, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's where I learned it from. Yeah. That's a great album.
Who was playing pipes on that? Was that Ali's album?
That's Ali's album, yeah.
I know for a fact that Ali's actually watching the show tonight.
Yeah, he's been messaging me.
He's kept quiet. He's kept quiet in the comments so far here, then. He's not.
Yeah, it makes a change, actually. Yeah. So here we go. Here's a set of Strathspey and reels.
Nailed it.
Driving reels there.
Nailed it. Did you ever find, Chris, we were speaking earlier on there before the show started, and you were talking about you haven't really been involved with pipe band life for a number of years. Do you find it easy to motivate yourself to go and learn stuff to play to that standards? Because I would find that quite difficult myself to motivate myself to keep playing when I'm just working solo, like you're saying.
It definitely comes in waves. So, like, I guess if I'm playing more pipes, I'll play more pipes, and then if I'm playing more guitar, the pipes maybe don't come out as much as they should.
Yeah.
But I went through a wee thing where I was like, I'm just going to put a tune on my Instagram every day, and it wasn't for wasn't for any kind of promotion or anything. It was just like, right, you need to have your pipes sounding good enough that you're willing to put them on the internet, and it needs to be a different tune every day. So it meant I got a few new tunes under my fingers, and yeah, it was almost like, I don't know, just because I was like, right, I'm going to put a tune up every day, and then I think when I decide I'm doing something, I just go on with it, and that's very good for that accountability.
It's maybe a bit of a tsunami coming now then, if with these new pipes, that'll maybe get you quite a bit. The new Mar pipes. They're lovely sounding pipes. They're sounding fantastic.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
Yeah, David said to me I should get my old ones to speak to Derek and even get them refurbed sometime, my ones, because they really do need a refurb.
Yeah, he did a set of mine, my original. I'd had the same set of Highland pipes since I was 14, and they honestly looked like a dog had been at them for 19 years. They were like all the fake ivory was smashed, and there was cracks, and they'd never been oiled. And if Derek's still listening, he'll tell you. He'll comment on how absolutely awful they were. He replaced all the plastic with that same boxwood. In fact, I'll get a bit of them.
Here's one I made earlier.
It sounds like something. I mean, my Henderson's a silver ivory mount, so they would look really nice probably when they're.
Yeah. He does amazing work doing them up.
Yeah.
It's a big difference when an instrument that's stood the test of time gets taken back to being pretty much as new a lot of the time. Sometimes better than new, because I mean the workmanship back then, they didn't have the tools they have now. It's all hand. So there's probably bits on it that are not identical. You know what I mean? Just the way things are. But that's one of the things with the pipes. You every single set, regardless who makes them, they're all different. You're never going to get the same bit of wood. It's like with an accordion, for example. All accordions are going to be the exact same as they come out the factory, because everything they get is exactly the same. Whereas pipes are no.
What? That was very deep.
That's deep.
It's a Sunday at 10:15. What do you expect?
Come on. Can I ask just something very interesting, Chris? Having you there and you being an engineer and superb at mastering, etc., are the pipes a nightmare to record? Are they not too bad?
No, I just think just don't. You can't fear them. There's a couple of ways you can approach it. A lot of the times you'll just turn your drones off, and then close mic your chanter, and then you can edit more and kind of chop and change bits out of takes, and you can auto tune it if you want to make it sound like Cher and stuff like that. But then you lose that, like, you lose the harmonic interplay between the chanter and drones. So I always like miking them not too close. Like, I really like a close sound on most instruments. Like when I'm recording the guitar and banjos or drums, everything, I really like quite tight microphones, so it's quite an in-your-face sound. But I don't like it too close on the pipes, because it just gets a bit honky if you get too close. And then the further the mics are away, you get more of that interplay between drone and chanter and some of the bag resonance. And
it's an incredible setup when you look at it in different instruments. And is there any instruments you found particularly difficult to record?
Certain fiddles I find quite.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's more like the fiddle player hears it so different to how you hear it, because they hear it resonating through their face, so they think there's a lot more warmth to it than a lot of the time there is. I don't want to offend any fiddle players out there.
No, that makes
you get
sense.
comments of like, it's a bit scratchy, and I'm like, it is.
You're right.
It's like, and I mean, I'm saying about playing the accordion, you know, when you're actually, a lot of the time with the accordion, you don't hear the projected sound. You're hearing what's sitting on your knee and coming straight to you, just the same kind of thing. It's coming into you. And
it's the same with acoustic guitar. You feel it through your belly, so you kind of you get the psychoacoustic feeling of it being bigger than it is a lot of the time.
Because there's some accordions I've tried and I thought, I love this and I'm going to gig this, and I take it out and I gig it and it just disappears. It's not there at all in a band setup, you know. It's not got power or nothing. It's strange, but sitting in your back room, it's fine, you know. But there we go. That's how it goes.
We're going to have another track. This one is Occupational Hazards. This is
the occupational hazard at Grant's house, working at Grant's house, is you could end up lambing a sheep if you don't watch what you're doing at the wrong time of year.
Every year he threatens that I've got to lamb a sheep, and I've not done it yet.
Angus was doing a thing for charity last year. People were getting to name the lambs or something like that. He was doing
all the pets were getting names, and he was donating them. That was quite cool.
It was cool. Yeah,
it's quite a nice break. That
survived.
if you're having a busy day, and you're just like in the wee dark room listening for hours on end, and then you just go outside and you realise Angus is having a much busier day, and he's like, "All right, how you doing?" It's his favourite 6 weeks of the year. Like,
he loves it. He loves it
a bunch of times. He's like, "I'm all right at the piano, quite good at the box, but I am amazing at lambing a yow."
Should have mentioned more with the lamb interviewed him. So, Occupational Hazard, is that a set of tunes? A tune? What is it?
It's a set of tunes. I've no idea why he's called it that. The gig we did last night, the set list had 2 tracks on it called New One, and we're like, which new one, Kieran? It's like, it takes ages to give anything a name. So I don't know how this got called Occupational Hazards. I don't know what it's referring to. It's in 7.
We'll just take the chance. Let's take the chance.
That's probably why. Here we go. I'm going to assume that Vitor's comment is not referring to all banjos and just Kieran's banjo.
No, all banjos.
Banjos are amazing. Yeah, they're amazing.
I think it's amazing that someone thought, right, we're going to put strings on top of this drum skin.
Bran.
Yeah.
Only an Irishman could go, would you know what this Baran needs? More strings.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. So, as with obviously, as you mentioned to Andrew, things are kind of getting better for musicians in general, and we're looking at no longer looking at what have you done in the past couple of years. It's what's going forward. What have you got in the books at the moment? Have you got anything interesting, anything secret, anything that we should look out for?
Oh, loads of secrets. No, we're so Kieran's band are going on a wee mini tour. A weekend of the 10th. Is it like the 9th till the 12th of June? We're going somewhere in Aberdeenshire, Inverness, and then the island of Egg.
Oh, brilliant.
Which should be quite good fun.
Is that the Scotland on tour gig, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
so you've got Inverness Cathedral, a Boyne, Arasig, according to this.
Oh yeah, there's Egg out with that. And then
Arasig's,
Arasig's and later August, on in the summer, I think.
August 13th. But it's good that the band's getting gigs again, and you're getting out, and you're not just stuck in the house.
Yeah,
lambing.
I think with that band, it's like, in fact,
you don't lamb, Davey. You don't lamb in the house.
Depends. It all depends. I'm sure Angus will have stories of lambing in the house.
Probably.
So obviously Kieran Ryan band to watch out for. Anything else lined up?
Not really. I've got a mad run of wedding gigs coming up or kilter gigs where I think I've got like one night off in 13 nights. So someone's not going to do much sleeping. And a bunch of driving, but it's quite good. It's this like I feel like engaged couples are playing catch up. Like with
I think that's happening.
Wednesday weddings and that.
Yeah, we're finding a wee bit the same. People that have postponed are getting married, but the people that were planning to actually get married are getting married as well. So it's a double up everything, isn't it? It's just it's all over the place. And fortunately, some of them have worked out that they didn't want to marry the person that they were getting married to. So that's given them an extra year to reschedule something else or marry someone else. Yeah. It's all working out good for people, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really good that things are opening up for you, and you're getting the guitar and piping gigs.
Is there still the studio work starting to go in quite well as well? It's quite a bit of recording stuff going on.
Yeah, definitely. So the studios were, I think they opened up. They never shut again after after the first lockdown. But then even kind of just throughout COVID, like I was able to work because I was working on my own. So there was a lot of mastering or mixed jobs that people, because folk were still writing music. I kind of love that actually. Like you get sent a Logic session or a Pro Tools session that had been sent around 5 or more houses, and folk had added to it. I just thought it was a kind of good thing that like musicians all just went, nah, you're not stopping us. Like, it's like we can't go and play together, but we're still going to write music together. I thought that was really nice, actually. Just like kept it going.
Was it right in seeing that you did kind of remote mastering as well for folks, so they kind of dialed in and listened and watched you mastering their stuff?
Yeah, so it's something I'd thought about. That actually this would be great because no one ever. Well, I say no one. It's rare that someone attends a mastering session. You usually just send your album and hopefully you get it back louder and nicer. I'd always thought, I was like, oh, imagine if there was like a thing and it was like just an audio, like a Zoom link, and then I can't remember who someone tagged me saying you'd like this, and then at that point COVID had happened. I was like, great. So it's called Audio Movers, and folk can listen in real time.
Right.
Like, so you can have Zoom going, but like Zoom audio quality is not good enough to hear the difference between like a mix and a master. But this Audio Movers just goes inside your workstation, and they get a stream link and can hear it on headphones or their own studio setup. And I think there's a lot more you can do with it, like recording wise, but I was just using it as like a remote listening, and it's been great.
Yeah.
I keep that going now, even because like I say, not a lot of folk go in for
I suppose
mastering.
the one thing with that is, regardless of if you're doing it on your own or doing it with them listening in, they're paying for your time anyway.
Yeah.
So, but it might be the make or break that you've done something a certain way, and they go, oh no, this, and you go, oh yeah, and that goes that way, which can kind of make or break the track or the album or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And there's things that there's maybe more creative risks you'd take if you've got the person there going, what do you think of this? And they're like, oh, actually, that's quite a good one. Whereas like, if they weren't there or there kind of remotely, you just go, I'll just kind of play this safe. Whereas so you maybe just, a few more like subjective things that you could do. Just
do you ever get given this, like a session, and then they say, I want it to sound like this album?
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of the standard for you, is it?
Yeah, quite a lot. And it'll be like, can you make it sound like this? I was like, those drums were done in Abbey Road. Of course I can't make it sound like that.
How's your budget?
Yeah, it was like, that's John Mayer playing the guitar. Like, you ain't him.
It must be great to kind of be on the forefront of hearing new music as well coming through.
That's the coolest thing, actually. Especially with recording or mixing, or if you're in a project from like conception where you're there in the studio setting up the mics, and then a couple of months down the line you've finished mixing. That's cool as well, because you've seen it like being born. But mastering, it's like it's a few hours, it's half a day ish on an album or an EP, and so you're just like, oh wow, this is new music, and it's almost a bit like, nah, I heard it first. Like, I'm always saying that when you've got folk putting up like new music dropping this Friday, we're really excited to let you hear it, and I'm like, I've already heard it, and I know it's great. That bit's really fun.
That's fantastic. But as we go, we kind of come back to full circle, and we're going to finish off with another trackie in the pipes. We have the classic hornpipe, Jim Tweedy's Sea Legs, which when Peter heard it on, he was very excited.
Oh, it's a
five-part hornpipe.
A 5-part hornpipe.
How many 5-part hornpipes is there? Not a lot.
And do you know the story with that behind the 5 parts?
So it's something to do with sea leg or something.
Apparently, it was written. The last part is more. Is him getting his sea legs. So that's the style. So it's the progression through the journey. I think it was it Scotland to New Zealand or something like that, or Scotland to Australia.
Right.
Okay. Was what it was written about. I believe I read it somewhere.
Yeah.
Must be true. And then we have a couple of jigs. We've got Trip to Madeira, which is by the late great Gordon Duncan, and Turf Lodge, which is Alan MacDonald.
I don't know if it's. I heard it from Pipe Major Angus. Actually, no, I heard it Pipe Major Angus playing it, but I learned it from Blazing Fiddle's album. That's why I play it. I don't play it with the proper Graysons from the books. Because I learned it from Fiddles.
That's all right.
I learned it from the
Maybe it was Yeah, but no, Chris, it's been great having you on tonight, and
thank you so much.
The kind of recording side of things as well, and your new pipes, which I'm sure you'll take you to bed and cuddling and things like that because you love them so much.
Remember, folks, remember any pipers out there, if you're looking for a new set of pipes, check out.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the site, isn't it? Bagpipe Reefers.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, Derek's pictures are there. I think my pictures are on there. So pictures of yours. And if you want Chris to master your stuff or contact with Chris, they're there. But good luck for everything going forward with, and anything that's coming up, just give it a shout, and we'll share it and take it from there.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, thanks
very much, guys. It's nice to meet you properly.
Superb.
And you.
Cheers.
Anything else, Peter?
No. Thank you very much. It's been really great. Fair enjoyed the show. Brilliant.
And here, just it. All the best, Chris. See you, man.
Take care. Cheers. Fantastic.
What can we say about that? What can we say about that?
Magic. Great, nice. What a set into the night. Fantastic. Superb. Cool. Thank you so much to our guests, Andrew and Chris Waite. Brilliant.
Next week.
Yes.
we have a first for Tartan Tunes.
Ooh, another first.
Another first.
We've got a
second
singing dog. No, we haven't.
No. Do you know who our guests are next week, Peter?
Yes.
That's fine. Just check it. We have the Ulan Piper. That's the Irish pipes. We've got Callum Stewart joining us next week.
We haven't had an Ulan Piper on before, have we?
We haven't. Not a solely Ulan Piper.
Fred was on. Fred was on.
Not a solely Ulan Piper we had so far.
Now, our second guest, well, I don't know what order we're in yet, but I've been speaking to her for a while about this. It's Alison Kate McCorkadale from North Uist. Alison's a piper, and her father, Callum Ian McCorkadale, is a box player, fiddle player extraordinaire. Now, they were doing some videos and that through lockdowns and all that together with the box, and Alison Kate playing the electronic chanter, the
Blair.
The Blair chanter.
The Blair.
And it's a fantastic sound. They just get a really, really nice sound with the box and that. And they've also brought an album out just recently. It's just come out. So we'll be speaking about that a wee bit as well. So accordions, pipes, Irish pipes. What else do you need on a Sunday night?
Plumber.
A plumber?
All the pipes.
Oh, the pipes. Yeah. I get you. Very good. Listen, it's been a great night again. Great night. Thanks very much, folks, for staying with us. We've run out a wee bit tonight. We're 2.25 hours tonight, but there we go. That's how it goes. If you fell asleep halfway through, you can now watch the rest tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you've not watched it and you've now watched the Jubilee, hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The band I play with is in blue. But yes, we'll see you next Sunday at 8 p.m.
Brilliant. And for the folks that just quickly, we'll get your tunes out to you in the next couple of weeks that put the bids in for the neonatal department at Nymos. So you presented the money the other day, didn't you?
Yes, I get the check in on middle of the week.
How much did we end up with in total in the end?
£1,150.
Fantastic. That was a great.
And I'll tell folks more once we get the kind of the finalised what the money been spent on.
Yes, excellent.
Yes.
So there we go. And how is Amy? Is she fine?
Yeah, she's doing fine. She's currently screaming her lungs off because she's going to bed because I can hear her from here.
Okay, right. That's your cue to go as well then.
It is,
okay.
Yes.
Thanks, folks. Good night. Stay safe. Take care. Cheers, David.
All best. Bye-bye.